people, welcome to the Manc Talk. We are here back with another video, and this video is sponsored by the One Football app. If you haven't got the One Football app, I don't know where you've been, because for me it's one of the best football apps ever. Steve uses it as well.
Yep.
All your latest football news, all your latest transfer news, scores, up-to-date news regarding your team as well, specified to your team. Make sure you check it out. Man City news, obviously, for his
go
team.
on the app, select your team, match day lineups, latest news, transfer rumours, goal alerts, everything. It's definitely worth downloading.
There you go, people. So make sure you download the One Football app. Link is in the description below, people. It's free to download. Google Play, Apple Play, everything is all good. Man like Steve!
What's happening, man?
What are you telling me, man?
Yeah,
enjoying it?
Yeah, we've had a busy couple of days, haven't we?
Busy, man, busy. It's been a hectic one, man.
Big content for the Big Six channel. Crazy yesterday, wasn't it?
You know what, man? Crazy day. Crazy filming. You know what I mean? Bend it like Beckham.
Oh, mate. If you've not watched Bend It Like Beckham, you're going to know what we're saying.
What a classic, man. You know what I mean?
Yesterday was mad, man. It was mad. And the way these shows came out, the way we had to format it and that, it was crazy, man.
Crazy.
Somebody threw a certain player under the bus, Matisse.
Yeah.
You know, you need to watch this,
mate. It's proper. You know what, man? We've got a good connection here, man. Big up to Turkish and that for finding us, man. You know, who would have thought a Somali guy would be with a white guy, you know what I mean, from Manchester as well, you know what I mean? Who would have thought the link up would happen, man? For me, like I said to you, it's crazy, but it just goes to show football brings us everyone together, innit?
Yeah, the Big Six show as well is diverse, you know what I mean? And it's great. We're all from all over the country. We've all got different opinions on our teams. And then obviously the Manc Talk was born out of that, innit? When I first come on the Big Six, I was like, who's this United fan here, man? He's getting rattled off me. And we rattled each other up and that. But then, you know, we ended up...
We had a rough start, man.
Yeah, we ended up just doing, like you say, doing the Manc Talk, and people love it, man. People love it. The love we got yesterday in London off people.
Mate, love, man. Big up to everybody, man.
Big up, what's the guy called? I can't think of his name, but he
One
waited.
guy outside here.
Yeah, he waited 40 odd minutes for a picture outside Euston Station, man. So big up him. And then we got this apartment in London, and we literally came out the apartment, and the guy facing on the block of flats shouted, "Big Steve!" I was like, no way, man. You can't even get away from it. So listen, the love we're feeling at the minute for the show is fantastic.
And just in general as well, you know what I mean? The love we get doing what we do and that. This is all down to you guys, you know what I mean? The sponsors down to you guys. Everything is down to you, man. And make sure you keep supporting Steve. We want to try and get him to 10k as well.
Yeah, 10k, man.
That'll be a big one. So make sure you like the video, you subscribe to both channels. And let's get straight at it, man. Ten Hag talk is hotting up. But I want to ask you, you know, from a Manc here, is this Ten Hag hype real? Because, you know, are we hyping him up for him to just fall? And should we be dismissing the likes of Pochettino and other managers, or is he the right manager that's been here? Gary Neville's come out tweeting that he wants Pochettino. He's trying to spin it his way. You know what I mean? Or do you just think no manager can fix United?
The most important thing that needs to happen at United is time. And I know people have said, look, we've been waiting 10 years and we've not got it right. I get that. But with a manager like Ten Hag, and the style of football he's implementing and the way he plays it, it's great to watch. It's beautiful football, but it needs time. You can't just come in Man United, right, and expect to get McTominay, Fred, players like that playing in the Ten Hag way. It just doesn't work. So what you're going to have to get is, you're probably going to have another season with Ten Hag where he's trying to sort himself out. Yeah. Then you're going to have another season where he's trying to bring his players in. So it could be a 2-3 year project. My problem, my only worry is that the Man United fan base won't give him time. They'll be like, oh, this Ten Hag, it's not working, get rid of him. In my opinion, Ten Hag's the best out there at the minute. So if I'm a Man United fan, I want him. Is there going to be clubs easier for Ten Hag to slip into? Probably. But he might fancy the job. He might fancy the job and think, you know what, if I can rebuild Man United... Yeah.
But it's a poison chalice, though. That's what they say.
It's going to be tough for him, because he could end his career. Not end his career, but it could hurt his career.
It could hurt his career because they're going to look at him and think, boy, he went into a kind of a mess, and should he have gone in there? There's a lot of managers who have dodged it, you know, this job, you know what I mean, and they've dodged it for a reason.
I'm not being funny. How many clubs are knocking on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's door now?
I mean, people call me negative, innit? People saying fake United fan, but you know what I mean? Where's he now?
As a Man City fan, I hope you get Pochettino. I don't think he's the answer. You know my feelings on him. I think it's great. If you get Ten Hag, I'm thinking that's a good appointment. He's the best out there at the minute. It shows you can still pull in the big manager. But he's unproven in the Premier League.
That's what, you know what, yeah? I'm starting to understand that, you know, both sides of the story. Before, I had my rose-tinted glasses on. Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking it's a shiny new toy. But the more I look at it, I'm thinking there also is a possibility, people, that it could not work because of the fact that A, he hasn't got a structure from Ajax, and B, Premier League, man, it's different, man. It's different, mate. It's every week is a hard week. You guys, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
You can't. You know what? Yeah. One thing I've realised at Premier League, yeah, you can't come to this league and start to imprint your style and think you can get away with it.
Well, they said that about Pep, right? And in his first season, he looked at that team. We had 2 aging fullbacks. We had 2 or 3, 4, maybe 5 players that he knew he was never going to win the league with.
Yeah.
But the season after, he identified his targets, he cleaned them out, and then started playing the Pep way. Yeah. That's what Ten Hag's got to do. He's looking at that Man United squad, but I think that Man United squad, there's a lot of players that need to go.
Mate, a lot, man.
And to try and get like 6 or 7 players out and 6 or 7 players in one window, it's tough. You're not going to do it. So that's why I say it's got to be time. Beginning of the season, I went on Arsenal channels and I said, look, Arteta's got his own way of playing, and it's going to be the Pep way. If you're studying with Pep Guardiola, you're gonna be. If you're with him every day, you're gonna want to be him, innit? So at the end of the day, Arteta then got Ramsdale. They moaned about that, yeah. But look at Ramsdale, the way he plays out from the back, yeah. That's what he started doing. And look at Arteta now. You can see Arsenal slowly getting Arteta's stamp on things.
Absolutely.
That's what's going to happen with Ten Hag. It's not, anyone that thinks Ten Hag's going to come in Man United, click his fingers, and Man United are going to be fixed. You're supporting the wrong football club. The football club has had 10 years of decline, and it's not a quick fix. So what I think Ten Hag needs to do is come in Man United. He needs to do an open letter to the supporters and explain the situation and say, this is the situation at Man United. I will fix it, but you need to give me time. Give me time. And if they give him time, I believe he'll do it.
But also, you have to have that favourite thing where, you know, with Man City, I don't think you had like many favourites. You took the decision. The one like Aguero, David Silva, they've been let go. Yaya Toure, company. I'm sure you as a fan would have said, you know what, one more season, man, I love Yaya. But again, it takes that sentiment out. United fan base have got to that point where it's going to be cutthroat. It's going to have to be. Do you know what the difference is? We trust the manager and the chairman. So if they say to us, oh, Yaya Toure is leaving at the end of the season, even though we love Yaya and you don't want to let him go because in your mind you still think it's Yaya. When you take a step back and look at him, he was a little bit slower. Yeah,
struggling a bit in the game. So you knew he was right. But that's the key to a good football club when you can realise that it's time for players to go. You don't. You give them contracts. Smalling, Jones, Matic, Mata, all should be nowhere near Man United Football Club. If you're an elite club in the Premier League now, you need to have an elite squad. And what's happened is they've kept hold of him for too long, not freshened it up. Your youth team and that is suffering because, you know, Hannibal, people like that should have been in maybe 12 months ago. They should have been integrated in that team.
Big up to the kids that did their FA Youth Cup final. But I get what you mean. To get into the first team, though, they have to see that plan. And right now, you know, apart from a certain someone who's gone somewhere else, but there's not been many that's broken to the first team. Brandon Williams came in a little bit. I personally liked him for a little bit.
Not good enough, though.
But again, you know, in the long run, maybe not good enough for my United Football Club. But for me, like I said to you, I just look at United in a minute, and there's a question here I'm going to ask you. Bruno Fernandes, is apparently being offered a new contract till 2027. Would you let that decision go to Man United, or would you let Ten Hag? I think, for me, for once, would think, you know what, let Ten Hag make that decision. But then again, people are going to say to me, well, you know, players have got to make that decision because it's their careers. But I'm like,
the thing is, though, it's the same old thing, isn't it? You're going to lose Pogba.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo might go because it is what it is.
He'll go PSG.
And then at the end of the day, Bruno's he's the fanboy. They all love him.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So they want to tie him down. It pleases the fans. It's like the Glazers know what they're doing. If we get Bruno and we sign a contract, we'll please the fans. I've just seen yesterday, Man United on their official channel, YouTube, are having a debate about which manager wants.
I
To
can't
me, that
believe it.
stinks of the Glazers saying, do a show, let's see who the fans want. So if all the fans were saying we want Pochettino, they'll go for Pochettino.
You know what?
I'm telling you now, that's what they're doing.
That is absolute spot. I think it's an absolute.
Because the Glazers
nonsense.
aren't football men, so they're shitting themselves to make the wrong decision.
Yeah.
They signed Ronaldo, even though it was a wrong football decision, for the fan base, it was a right decision. And that's what they've done. And at the end of the day, these people aren't football people. We've got football people at City who can look at a player and go to the board and go, this player...
You ever see City do YouTube channels about next managers?
Nah, because it's
I don't
weird.
understand that. I for me thought it was a bit strange. I think it's a bit embarrassing.
And it's disrespectful. How can an official Man United channel be talking about managers who are in jobs at other places? Do you know what I mean?
But this is where we are right now. We're not a proper run football club, and this club is, for me, it's you know when you're desperate, United are desperate. They're almost telling Ten Hag to watch YouTube. Pochettino, have you seen the YouTube? They're talking about you, mate. If they want you for the next job, oh. Where did you see this? Man United TV? What?
Yeah, it's mad.
Honestly, the jaws will drop. And people will say to me, oh, well, get with the times. I think Culture Cabs said to me, they've been doing that for years, but not on this level.
Yeah,
gossip is gossip. You know, on your app, to bring people in, it's all right. But to have a YouTube channel dedicated to kind of finding a managerial role, especially when you've got legends in like Wes Brown and that, for me, I just thought... it's a bit sticky one, but that's where the club is at, man. This is where the club is at, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of problems there. You know, last season you finished second, got to a European final.
False position though for me,
But
in terms of second position, but it happened.
Still can't lie, he finished second. And
but when you look at it now, Liverpool's gone back up. Chelsea, they had Lampard, remember, you know what I mean? They were slowly, you know, Tuchel brought the energy back. You know what I mean? I just think there was a lot of...
Yeah, but you signed Ronaldo, Varane and Sancho, and
Yeah.
finished worse off. You're not going to get in the Champions League. It's been a disaster. A disaster.
Yeah. And
they give Solskjaer a new contract.
that was the one for me.
Mike
Remember,
Phelan,
on
new
your
contract.
birthday?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I went from the highs of enjoying and chilling out with you lot to then
to the lows.
Depressed. You know what I mean? That's what
Depressed
the problem.
FC, innit?
Depressed. I'm always depressed FC, man. I come here away from United is where I get my kind of, you know.
There's big problems at Man United, and they know that. But like you say, I'm a great believer in time, and in football, sometimes you don't get a lot of time. You look back over the years, if Alex Ferguson would have been given the time after that Forest game when Mark Robbins saved his ass, look what would have happened. Do you know what I mean? Look at
Different
Jurgen
era,
Klopp.
though.
Jurgen Klopp came in though at Liverpool, right? There was no pressure on him. The Liverpool fans were starving. But they knew that, we'll wait another couple of years if he gets it right. Pep Guardiola came in, the whole media threw pressure on him. Pep Guardiola can't come to this country and do his ticky-tacky football. There's no way he's going to do it in the Premier League. We all knew that Pep said, look, give me time and I'll get it right. At the time, we'd won 2 titles and we were getting the odd domestic cup. And then he just came in and changed the whole club. So Man United have you either got to make a decision. You either keep chopping and changing managers until you get lucky one day and somebody manages to do it, or you stick with the one guy and say, right, he's the next manager for the next 3 or 4 years and he's going to clear it out slowly and we're going to change it round. So a manager like Ten Hag has to be around for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me.
Absolutely. I want to discuss quickly Paul Pogba. He's come out saying that...
I'm sure you want to discuss Pogba with me.
Well,
I'm not allowed to say anything about Pogba.
You know, you're not allowed to say anything about Pogba. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say something.
The thing for me, though, is, you know, people need to understand that Steve is just coming from a different point of view. A lot of people will say, why you always mention Pogba? We're just talking about Pogba right now because there's been a few quotes.
Do you know why I mention Pogba? Because I think...
Do you value him as a big player?
Yeah, but I don't think he's turned up for Man United. And do you know what's annoyed me? Because if I'm a Man United supporter, I'm frustrated and annoyed with Paul Pogba. Because you know, it's not like he's not got the talent. We know he's a great player, right? But when you're turning up for maybe 7-8 games a season, and I know he's got all these fanboys who say, but Pogba's done this, Pogba's done this. Pogba's done fuck all. Pogba turned up in a derby that meant fuck all. You stopped us winning the league by 1 week and then lost to West Brom. Pogba, right, it was bought for £100 million. Now you're telling me Jack Grealish is a flop. That's what people are saying. £100 million.
By the way, price tags are not their fault.
No, it's not their fault. But what I'm saying is, when you invest £100 million in a player, you expect that player over 6 or 7 years to at least have some key moments. I'm telling you, Man United fans now, name me 5 key moments.
No, there is 5 key.
Tell me 5 key moments in Paul Pogba's Man United career that he's going to be remembered by.
Man, Steve, there is 5 key moments.
Tell me them then.
There is 5 key.
Tell me him then.
Hey?
Tell me him.
Listen, I've just come, I've just woke up, mate. You know what I mean?
Tell me him. Yeah, listen, and then you look at players like Yaya Toure, who came in.
Yeah, but Yaya Toure, but different environment. It's all about the environment.
Yeah, but but you can't blame the environment.
You
because Yaya Toure played in midfield.
You come from a team that's established. A team that's established for him. Has Pogba, have we got the best out of Pogba? Be honest. United, when you look at the likes of Carrick when he came in, Fellaini, to the likes of what you got now, McTominay and Fred, have United made an environment?
No, but
Grealish have made an environment.
No, but people like Pogba, if you're a world-class player, you shine. If you're in a midfield with McTominay and Fred, right, you shine. And the people can go, look how class Pogba is.
We're better than McTominay and Fred.
Yeah, but you're not, because Paul Pogba turns up when Paul Pogba wants to turn up. And you lot are all that gassed with Paul Pogba and all that.
But I think maybe you're seeing one side of the story. Do you see that United have been shit? Yeah, and nobody's playing well.
No, of course United's been shit. But are you telling me that Paul Pogba, in big games that United have lost, couldn't have turned it on and dragged United to a win? That's what big players do.
Thought he was one of the only few in the first half that turned up in a derby, but I get what you mean, though.
Yeah, but he didn't turn up.
If I'm going to come in, Steve, if I'm going to come in and I'm going to say Paul Pogba has been a massive truck for Man United, then I might as well just pack up, because he's not.
Right.
Listen,
how long's Pogba been at United now?
About 6 years.
Right. So
7 years, yeah, 6 years.
Is Paul Pogba's time at Man United been a success?
No.
Right, there you go. That's all you need to know about Paul Pogba. For the talent, and he come out yesterday and said, for the last 5 years I've been depressed. Right, so he's even blaming that on him, right? So at the end of the day, he might have been depressed, but at the end of the day,
weather's not nice in Manchester.
His talent, he's not used it to his full potential at Man United for me. And I've seen players in bad sides.
That's a fair assessment, though.
I've seen players in bad sides shine. Because it doesn't matter if you're at Man United and your manager plays McTominay and Fred and you're Paul Pogba, you think, right, I'm going to give my best for Man United. Every time I go on that pitch, I'm going to give 100%, and then fans will say, you know what, Pogba is working his bollocks off for Man United. He doesn't. Yeah. He turns up when he wants to. Some games, you look at Paul Pogba, he's unplayable. He's absolutely unbelievable, right? And then for the next 4 games, he's terrible. Then he'll put in another game where you think he's unbelievable. But when you actually need him, when the chips are down, semi-finals, quarter-finals, derby games, when you need him, he don't turn up. He goes missing.
I always think, you've got to be very, very fair in the assessment in terms of, I've heard you, and I think, you know what, some parts of the story, I think they're true. You know what I mean? We haven't got the best out of Pogba, and he himself hasn't got the best out of Pogba. But I always think, this place United, man, it's a cauldron of shit, man. You know what I mean? And David De Gea, for me, is the only person that has turned up Pogs Fergie. Nobody else, mate. Nobody right now in their right mind can tell me has turned up and has been...
But that's got to be a mentality thing, because these aren't bad players. Because I guarantee you now, when Paul Pogba leaves Man United, he will shine. He will go somewhere else and shine. France. Right? And at the end of the day, it's a mentality thing.
You see what he said, though? In France, I know my position.
I get. He's probably right there. He's probably right there. But at the end of the day, I've never known a man have more excuses than him. And at the end of the day, knuckle down, play your football.
I think he does want to try.
Play your football. The fans will never get on your back. But at the end of the day, Paul Pogba for Man United is an enigma. You let him go for free. You bought him back for 100 million, and he's going for free. He's never going to be a Man United legend. He's never going to be a Premier League legend. But at the end of the day, Paul Pogba's just going to be one of them players that had great ability but didn't do it consistently.
But can you admit that it's not his entirety fault, and that United have not also got the best out of him? Is that part of it?
Yeah,
can you agree?
No, I think that because the environment he's working in is probably shit. Yeah. He's not motivated.
Yeah, of course.
Right? But
you want to work in an environment.
No, but sometimes if you know you're an elite player, if it's shit at Man United, take a less money and move on and enjoy your football. Maybe
that's a lesson. I don't know.
Or you lead by example on that pitch, where people look at you and think, you know what, people need to aspire to be Paul Pogba. But he doesn't. He just fell in line with the rest of the shit, hid when the going got tough, made excuses when the going got tough, and just basically ran his contract out, and now he's just going to do one. He doesn't give 2 fucks about Man United Football Club.
No, I think that's harsh.
Never has.
I think he does, but I think, deep down, how can you when the club don't care about you and the club don't want to care about winning?
He's let his agent say what he wants about Man United. He's let his agent talk him up to Real Madrid. He's never came out and slagged his agent off. So that tells me.
But why would you when they're making money?
No, but if you cared about the football club, you wouldn't let your agent bash
Well,
him.
I think Raiola in himself is an absolute enigma. But I think for me, like I said to you, we need to have the real chat about Pogba. You know what I mean? You've got to hear the other side of the story. Maybe it's a harsh reality for the United fans.
I don't think you need to chat about him anymore because he's going. He doesn't want to play for Man United and he's going.
This might be the last conversation we have on Paul Pogba.
And
maybe, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Someone said to me yesterday, about Pogba. I said maybe it's for the better good because we can stop concentrating on Paul Pogba, and maybe as a football club we can be a team, and maybe we could
because all these kids out here, they get gassed up about Pogba. I understand he's a hero and all that, but at the end of the day, open your fucking eyes. If he's doing it on the pitch, praise him. If he's not doing it on the pitch, then he's not doing it on the pitch for a reason.
Yeah.
And for Man United over the last 6 years, Paul Pogba has not done as well as he should have. The ability's there, we all know it, but he literally has not done it. And that's
you know what? That's a fair assessment. You know what I mean? And that's probably the perfect segment to move on. I want to discuss Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
A lot of Arsenal fans might be in the chat, and big up to everybody who's watching. Keep pumping the likes up. Make sure you're following Big Steve. Make sure you're following Saeed TV. Road to 10k for him, road to 50k for me. Arteta, league gunner. You might not like this, and you know what? Stick to your guns, by the way, because if that's what you believe in, that's what you believe in. But if he gets this top four, I was talking about it yesterday in the office, and Man City do win the league, because I think if Liverpool win the league, Jurgen Klopp will get the manager of the year. But does then Arteta deserve the manager of the year of where he got Arsenal from?
I don't know. Them manager of the year awards are weird, aren't they? You know what I mean? You can win the league and 4 cups or something and don't get it, and then, you know what I mean, people talking about Brendan Rodgers and shit and Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
So it's mad that. But listen,
someone was talking about it on the radio on TalkSport, saying that about Arteta, and I just thought, you know what, it could be a good debate and a good segment to kind of touch on, because I've praised Arteta for the last 2 years in terms of the fact that it's different from Ole, because I feel like there is a little philosophy there. He just hasn't got the players. And now that he's got the players now, I can see it. I've never ever slandered him. I've slandered more Arsenal fans because of their kind of mentality and the way they used to like celebrate fourth and all that. You know what I mean? But he's
another prime example of what. Then Arsenal wasn't in as worse a state as Man United, in my opinion, but they decided to choose a rookie manager, right? So if you decide to choose a rookie manager, don't expect him to start ripping up trees because he's a novice. He's come into a football club that's massive for him. He's obviously loves Arsenal and he's came in. He's looked at that football club and went, right, I need to stamp my authority on this football club now. But because he's a novice, he can't walk in there like Pep Guardiola can and start throwing his weight about because you lose the dressing room. Yeah. Pep Guardiola walked in, Man City got rid of Joe Hart. Nobody said anything because it's Pep Guardiola. He's done it at the high level and he's the boss. If Mikel Arteta walks in Arsenal and thinks, I'm getting rid of Oba straight away, the whole dressing room's down the drain. You don't know what you're doing. You fucking come in here 5 minutes and now you're doing it. So what Arteta has to be clever. So what he done is he was clever. He bided his time and he's made... And you look at Arteta now at Arsenal, he is now the gaffer. 12 months ago, he wasn't. He was a novice manager. Now he's the boss. He got rid of Oba. Oba's gone to Barcelona enjoying his football. Arsenal have got a team of young players playing great football. You can see where it's going and he's going to get them in the top 4. Now, Arteta at Arsenal is respected. Everybody looks at him and goes, you know what? He's respected. Any player steps out of line now, he's gone out the door. Nobody blinks an eyelid. This is what you have to think about at football clubs. These managers, it's like you started a new job. At a factory. You walk in the first day, start throwing your weight around, the whole factory's morale's down the drain, and they go, I don't like this guy, he's a prick.
It's true.
And that's what happened. And he's come in, and you've got to give him credit, and he's learned from the best in Guardiola. You're going to get Guardiola-style football, where it's possession-based.
There's no more dressing room leaks anymore.
There's no more dressing room leaks, and anyone in that dressing room now who thinks they can throw the weight about is going to end up on a plane, out of there. So
that's one thing I kind of get from him, and I probably respect him more than Ole, because Ole made it all a little playground and everyone got along, and the next week, you know, we're getting all these leaks.
He's probably rang Pep and gone, how do you do this? Oba's doing my nutting here, what do we do? And Pep's probably advised him, and then he's cut him at the right time.
Even though he's scoring goals at Barcelona, by the way, but still, it's the fact that maybe it's... Well, there you go.
It's a win-win situation. Oba needed a change. He went to Barcelona, he's loving life. Arteta got rid of a problem in the dressing room, and his young team now has stepped it up again.
They're not might be scoring more goals, but they're stronger defensively.
They look a better side when he left. Because there's no not turning up late for derbies, not coming to training, pissing about going to a tattooist, doing this, all negative stuff around
not sticking him on the left anymore. You know what I mean? It's more cohesive.
Listen, Arteta has done a fantastic job this season.
But if he gets top 4,
he will get top 4.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
But then, for me, people would say then, you know what I mean? And obviously, people will say, you know, for the elite sport, the person at the top gets, you know, the league. But Guardiola does it every season. I
don't think Arteta will be asked about individual awards. I just think he's come out of it looking good, and he's always spoke well about the team. He's never crumbled under pressure. You know, he's made some decisions which Arsenal fans didn't agree with, but now they're looking like they're the right decisions. And the biggest thing which we said about Ten Hag, time. The Arsenal fans was impatient. They wanted him sacked. If you just sacked him when you wanted to sack him. Yeah, you'd have got a new manager in. He'd have had to have time. He'd have had to have new players. You'd have been back to square one. But because you've got over that hump now, and it's starting to level off, you can see a future with Arteta because of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, like I said to you, I think Arteta, you know what I mean, the philosophy was there. I think he needed the players. Now he's got the players. He's getting top 4. But I understand people who want more and who thought of Arsenal, of winning titles. But I think it's one of those situations where you've got to have that plan to get there, maybe. And I think, you know, step by step, top 4. I don't think 4th to 3rd is as big as the thing. I don't think Chelsea... People talk about Chelsea here, but they've never pulled away. You know, when's the last time they won the league? Okay, United fans can come, other fans come, but they won it 5 years ago, and they've always been 4th, 3rd. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
They always hover around there. So for them to go get the next step, they could get 3rd next year. I'm not saying they will, but if they go get striker, they could get 3rd. They won't be nowhere near Liverpool and Man City.
Everyone was gassing them up when they got Lukaku. Chelsea look invincible now. Look at them the way they are. Tommy Tuchel's got Pep's number. He always does him. He can do this. He can do that. So I said...
They're a cup team, and Matisse said it.
That they would fade, innit?
Yeah, you did,
I said that when they were top of the league. And people were like, no, you know, you talk about you're salty because of Porto, but no, I was right. So everyone who thought was salty because of Porto, apologise. Innit?
There you go. Apologise to Big Steve.
Because I was right, innit? I was
right. Let's talk about Man City. Haaland, man, you know what I mean? I feel like this is coming ever closer. I think it could happen, you know, even like by the end of the week. It could happen by next month. You just don't know, but...
Listen, as far as I'm aware, it's all been done. I'm relaxed about it. I'm not really asked about talking about it. At the end of the day, we've got bigger things to going on at the minute at City. We've got crazy shit going on with FA Cup semi-finals.
Yeah, talk about that. You know what? That's crazy, man. That for me is you know when they say football for the fans.
It's not. It's made for them who've bought Club Wembley seats and all the corporate sponsors to have a great day out at Wembley, regardless of all the fans who've got to now drive. The petrol prices are the highest they've ever been.
Yeah.
You're on a bank holiday.
It's gone down by 5p, by the way.
Went up by 65 last week.
Yeah.
So you've got fans travelling from the northwest all together, heading in the same direction on Easter weekend. So you've got holidaymakers, caravanists, families, service stations.
God.
It's going to be absolutely fucking chaos, right? But as long as the sponsors are all right, as long as the people with the shirt and tie, Club Wembley, the wankers that go in at half time and never come out because they're sat having a beer, as long as they're all right, the real football fans, the actual fans that keep the game going, the ones that have, you know, it's a big day out for them, Wembley, some kids are going to go and all that, their day is going to be made harder to suit them. At the end of the day, it's a joke, and as a football fan that spends a lot of money following my team,
you do a lot,
work, man.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Plus, you've got Atletico Madrid coming on.
Atletico Madrid, the prices have gone through the roof. I went to Palace the other day. I went to Southampton.
You feel like football fans are the most kind of used people in
because
society.
what it is we're all blind loyal to our team. We love our team. We're emotionally attached. They can literally.
But they take advantage of that, though.
Yeah, but they could literally say. Cup final tickets are 250 quid, and if you've never been to a cup final, you're going to pay it because you want to see your team at the best, but they take advantage of it. I mean, there's been a couple of nice incidents over the years. Sheikh Mansour putting planes on to Porto, Chelsea done it, you know, little things like that where you think, you know what, but the amount of money these teams are getting, look, I know Man City always try and help the fans out, and Liverpool probably do their fans, but this is just a no-brainer, man. It's just you're gonna have carnage all over the place, and it's just to come out of Wembley and not be able to get the train back or try and get in the car and stuff like that. It's mad,
They're crabbed in like mega buses.
Hotels are double the price now because they know people want to stay over. So everyone's milking it, man. The only one that loses out is the football fan.
Yeah, the football fan who's, people say that, these fans are on millions and whatnot. This working class people. It was made for the working class, you know what I mean? And
listen, I don't drink anymore, so when I go to the games, I drive down, I go to the games, I like to be comfortable, watch my team and come back. But these guys that like to have a beer and socialise, it's an expensive do.
Yeah.
It's £100 odd a weekend, and if you've got kids and a family, especially energy prices have gone up, petrol prices have gone up, there's a lot of guys who are going to have a really tough decision. They're basically going to be working all week just to pay the bills and never go to the football because they can't afford it, so they're never going to have a release.
No. And then,
something has to change, man.
Yeah, you know what? Something has to change, and the Premier League needs to look at it. But when you look at, the Premier League and what they've got their agenda in terms of the greed and, and Sky, everything is just made to kind of get money out of you. Remember that £15 when we had to pay in lockdown? £15 to watch a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that are happening in football. So I just feel like for me, you've got to just make sure the fans are all right first, because without football, without fans. No football. Exactly, mate. That's what I mean? How you been enjoying it anyway? International break. You think this is a perfect time to City just to relax now? Because I feel like, this 20 times is becoming more inevitable. And, I don't know where to think, Man City win the league or 20 times. It's crazy. But you guys, Burnley, we're going to be doing that, by the way, outside Turf Moor. Yeah. But,
no, it's...
You need this time off, innit?
Yeah, you see, some of them lads are going on international duty. We need to look this. I think Pep needs a time off. I think he needs to regroup, get his head together. He's got a lot of key games coming up. I think he's got to study them, realise what we need to do, get a game plan formulated, and he's got 9 games to win the league. We're top of the league by a point. He's in the semi-final of the FA Cup playing a really good Liverpool side, and then we've got Atletico Madrid, who are a very, very awkward, awful, niggly team who. Manchester City suffer against them teams. We can't break them down.
You've got like low block FC.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
You got Burnley. You got Wolves. You got Atletico. I forgot who else you got, but you got so many low blocks.
And this is why sometimes, the idea of having a striker and playing a little bit different and getting a ball in the mixer, you need it. But look, we've gone this season with no striker. We can't moan. We're top of the league. We've just got to see it out now.
Yeah, top of the league, Steve, man. You know what I mean? Someone has to make a montage of that top of the league. Send it to Steve.
Nah, because you know what? When I grew up, I could never chat to anyone who was top of the league. How can you say anything bad to someone who's top of the league? You can't. At the end of the day, they're top of the league for a reason. So I just shut people down and go, I'm top of the league, mate. End of the story. And I'm taking that.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, man. But we're going to go and finish this Manc talk. We're going to go back to Manchester. You know what I mean? It's London is good, but there's nothing like home, is there?
Nah, it's mad round here, mate. It's crazy. It's
crazy, man. It's some 100 miles an hour. There's cars flying everywhere. People pushing past you. Manchester, everyone's laid back. You know what I mean?
People fighting on the train yesterday.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You had a coffer in the train. You know what I mean?
Some woman talking to herself yesterday. That was a mad shit.
Yeah, man.
Don't know what's happening.
Crazy
man.
shit in London, but anyway,
crazy, man.
Big up to Steve, man, for coming on, man.
Yeah, man.
Next week, people will be outside Turf Moor. Will it be next week? Because it'll be previewing the game for Burnley. Make sure you check out that. We might have a special guest. So please check out that outside Turf Moor, the Manc Talk. Obviously, make sure you check out Big Steve, MCFC. Let's try and get him to 10k people.
10k.
That'll be a big for you. You've only started with the last year? Less than a year.
Less than a year.
Less than a year. You know what I mean? How have you enjoyed YouTube? You enjoyed it, yeah?
Yeah, it's good. I'm doing it on my terms.
Yeah.
I'm busy. If I can fit some content in, I'll fit it in.
Yeah.
Like you say, coming up to London yesterday, full day of filming. Then today, it's 2 days out of my week. Obviously, I've got a family.
Yeah.
The kids are ringing you up, Dad, when you're coming home. It costs me a fortune. I've got to get the kids presents every time I go to London. So it's a nightmare. But no, listen, we appreciate the support. We're doing this because there's a demand for it. You know what I mean? I feel like the Manc Talk, the Big Six, and my own channel, all the chat and all the supporters are great.
City Extra.
City Extra, I'm doing a little bit with on Tuesdays now. Yeah. And man, it's all good. It's all love. I'm enjoying it. I appreciate the support.
Absolutely, man. Make sure people to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you download the OneFootball app, people. Link is in the description below. And we'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.